So before we get into y'all's questions today, I wanted to, there's been a ton of talk since, listen, I first started seeing stuff online about AI art back in March. I saw artists like dabbling with it and posting some stuff. And then it sort of hit a little bit more of the mainstream in June when Midjourney opened, like the beta was open and people could join that and you could get in. I think that's when me and Lee kind of went over it and did our first test runs with it. And then I've just been watching the conversation and sort of it come to a boiling point where it's at now. And yesterday I attended the Concept Art Association town hall meeting on AI art, and they met with two a copyright attorney and somebody from the U.S. Patent Office was at that meeting as well as an artist. Two artists. One, Carla Ortiz, who's kind of like a representative, I guess, from Concept Art Association. She's a concept artist, very well known and accomplished, and she sort of heading up this artist's response to AI. Then there was a guy who's also a computer scientist who is developing AI, who was a part of that or works with it. And then we had an artist who received national attention because he is the number one artist that AI art users are referencing when they want their artwork rendered, right? So it's in the style of this artist. And now I forget his name, Mark something, I think. Anyways, and so it was a really interesting discussion. And what I walked away from it, I was just kind of really depressed in that there's no actionable solution to stop this from happening. There's no, we asked these guys, can we sue? Is there any sort of legal action we can take against this? Because these AI, there's these AI companies who use publicly funded and like open sourced images that have been acquired in these massive billion image databases, which are for the public use, right? Free to use. But then these companies take them and they've been using them to build this AI software to replace art jobs and B, turn it into a commodity that you pay to use, right? A tool that you would pay to use. Like you pay to use Photoshop, you're also going to end up paying to use Midjourney because you want to be able to generate images for whatever reason. And so they're sort of not breaking there's no law that they're breaking because they're using public images. And then there's like there's like other things coming out of the woodwork where some of these images from these databases were sourced illegally. Like there's a woman who found several medical photos of her from her doctor that were supposed to be private. And it led to a database full of images from private doctors' databases of people. So like her face was being used to help generate other faces in AR. So it's a huge mess. And I came away from it, these guys are like, well, who would you sue and what would you sue them for and how? And it's one of these things where the cream is in the coffee and there's no way to parse it out, right? So what I realized the solution is because, we should still try and fight, and you can do whatever you need to do to change the culture, surrounding AR art. And I think artists should work hard to do that. But I think a bigger solution is you need to kind of take control of your own career and AI proof your career. That's where I'm going with that, with this thought and this idea. So here's my question for you guys. I texted you earlier to think about this. What sort of solutions do you have to AI proof your career? your art career? You guys didn't think about it at all, did you?
No, I've got an answer, but here's the thing: a lot of people aren't going to like my answer.
Let's hear that one
I'm
first.
I'm not going to like it.
What's that? Did you say you're not going to like it?
I said I know I'm not going to like it.